Well, good morning, everybody, and it's great to see all these credit union folks on a Monday morning as we get started on another week. So I'm delighted for the board of directors and CEOs and staff that have taken time to spend with us this morning. Hopefully, you're going to find that our board and our management team and staff have been working extremely hard at the Virginia Credit Union League to position ourselves so we can help you grow and help you serve your members in the future like we have in the past. Well, congratulations, Norfolk State, VCU in Virginia, all in the tournament.
All right.
Go Rams, yeah. We're in Richmond, so we'll start with that. For any Hokie fans, sorry, but next year they got a good team, so they'll be in there next year. So as we get kicking off tournament time here, I'm trying to figure out how to get to Omaha. It's kind of hard to get there, but I don't know. We'll look at it. I want to thank our chairman, Bob Petty, Rose, Iris on our board of directors for being here and their support of the plan. And Chris Williams could not be here today, but I did want to let you know that Chris drove all the way up to Northern Virginia on Friday for that town hall meeting. So he was there in Northern Virginia. Got some special guests here we're delighted to have, and we'll talk more about them during the presentation. But we have our retained counsel, Chief Lobbyist Whit Clement. Whit, good to have you here today. They've been busy, so they were looking forward to having maybe a Monday morning back in the office. They've been over the General Assembly. We have Miles Laria here in the back. Miles, good to see you. And Phil Boykin. Phil, good to see you. So our lobbyist team is with us. So if you want to chat with them about the session, they are here this morning as well. Well, I want to start out this morning talking a little bit about how we got here in Richmond this Monday morning on the town hall meeting. And it has been a long process for us over the last 18 months. And we took a lot of time with the plan because we felt like we needed to do that to make sure we were best positioned to serve you in the future. And most of you in this room have known me a long time. And I've known you a long time. And this credit union system is dramatically changing. I don't have to stand up here before you and tell you that today. You know it, you live it every day. You work in your credit unions, you serve on the board of directors. So you know how things are changing in the financial marketplace, and credit unions are having to change with that. We are an extension of credit unions. We realize we need to change as well. And so I hope as we complete today, you'll realize that the league is changing. Now, some of the areas we're going to talk about today, I will be very frank and candid with you, because I think we do have some challenges in this credit union movement that all of us have got to work together to try to address. And I want to stress working together. And that's kind of going to be a theme of today too, because I am concerned that some credit unions, both here in the Commonwealth and the United States, have come to the conclusion that they can go it alone. And I think that is a serious, serious mistake. So I'm going to be very frank and candid with you as we developed this plan. As Dorsey has said, we're looking forward to your feedback. This is not in stone today. We've tweaked it a lot, but we can tweak it some more. So if we miss something that you think is extremely important to your credit union, to the credit union system, I hope you'll share that with us. Because we can go back and change the plan. You spoke, we listened. Nicole will be up here shortly to talk about the satisfaction survey. Many of you took the time to respond to that, and we used that as a basis for the plan. It is a 3-year plan. So it's a plan starting out this year through 2014. There are a lot of things in the plan that we have not accomplished yet. We're not where we want to be, but it is a 3-year plan trying to get us to the strategic areas that we want to be. So how we got here simply was this. About 18 months ago, and our board has always done planning, as we hope credit unions in this room, I hope you do annual planning. I think you need to do that and take time to get away from the day-to-day operation and look at what's happening around you and what you need to do moving forward as a credit union. And our board has always done that. Back in September 2010, I think in particular that year, the league board, in my estimation, really focused on the long-term future of credit unions. Where are they headed? And what do we need to do as a state trade and marketing association to assist? And I thought in particular the board did an extremely good job that year on the planning session. And basically we spent that 2 days developing our core competencies and core functions. And you heard Iris talk about those briefly. We'll talk about them throughout the day. As happens with a strategic plan, there's some staff reorganization that has to take place. And we've been in that transition over the last year. We brought on Nicole Waddell as Member Services and Marketing. Lewis Wood got promoted to our management team in Public Relations and Communications. And I'll tell you, we had to make some hard decisions. We had to let some staff go that had been with us a very long time and had done a great job. So I'm not telling some of the CEOs in here in this room you have to make some of those decisions. We had to make some of those decisions. Not that they hadn't done a good job for us, but where we were going, we needed to redirect our staff resources, and so we've done some of that. We also had some key retirements during the time. So we've been transitioning in our staff reorganization. I will make this point to you. 6 years ago, we had 38 staff. Today, we have 22 staff. We've got 2 positions open that we'll be talking about that we're very actively filling, so we'll be a staff of 24. And I don't believe we've cut the core competencies and functions out. So I make that point to say this to you today. The days of the Virginia Credit Union League being able to do all things for all credit unions is over. It is over. And that does not mean that we're not going to be a valuable organization for you in a lot of areas. We will be. But we don't have the staff resources, for example, to come in and do the accounting of credit union. Like to do it, did in the past, but will not have the resources to do those type of things in the future. Survey we talked about, Nicole will be up here very shortly, in May and August, when she came on board. And I said, Nicole, we need to touch base with our credit unions and see where they're moving, where they're going, find out how they feel about us. We had not done that for probably too long. It's been 5 or 6 years. So a lot to help us in the strategic plan was developed through that satisfaction survey. And we wanted to provide information back to you on that for the league and for the League Service Corporation. Then just this past September, we took that information, went through another 2-day planning session, came up with our 3-year strategic plan and 11 key strategic issues. We're going to talk about those 11 today as well. As is important, back in November of last year, we took our staff away from the office and met with them to go over the plan and get their input as well. Most of you know you can have a good plan that the board develops, the management team, and if the staff's not committed to do it, it's not going to happen. So we did that to get our staff buy-in to that, and they actually inputted some changes as well to that plan that the board came back in December for the final board approval of the strategic plan, and this is what we bring to you in our last town hall meeting. We've done 6 of these. And at the end of this, we feel very good. We'll have over 90 credit unions that have participated out of our 165 member credit unions, and we will touch base with those credit unions that were not able to be here as well. So that's how we got here today. The core competencies that I was talked about. These are the three key areas that we want to be at the top of our game. What I mean by that, we want to be the best of the best in delivering for you. That's governmental affairs, advocacy. And you've told us, every survey we've ever done, that we need to do the job for you here in Richmond, and we need to do the job for you in Washington, D.C. So we're going to talk about that core competency. Education, doing some change up in education as well. With retirements come different ways to do education, and so we're looking at that. We want to make sure we continue to be a leader in that area. And I know I don't have to tell you, with all the regulations that are coming through the compliance, whether it be the $1 billion credit union or the $500,000 credit union, the amount of money, time, and effort you're spending on compliance is unreal. And I'm going to be honest with you, we've got a regulator that's out of control in NCUA, who is not helping in this regard in a lot of areas as well. And we're going to press our case with them as well. But this whole area of advocacy, education, compliance. And then from that become core functions that we actually have to carry out. There are things in these three competencies that we have to do. That's advocacy. There's set things that have to happen there. Education, compliance, how we market and communicate not only with credit unions, but other outside organizations and groups, so that we make sure that those groups understand the good job that you do as credit unions, and we have a role to market that, communicate that to a whole series of the public. And I want to briefly hit this, collaboration. I am totally convinced that for us to continue to be successful in the future as a credit union system, for your individual credit union to be successful, we have got to get back collaborating with one another. And that's easier said than done. But again, I go back, I'm saying too many credit unions, board of directors, CEOs, that somehow believe that we have grown to a point that we can operate by ourselves. And Gene Farley told me years ago, if we ever begin to develop that mindset, the system is in trouble. So we can change that. We can do something about it. We're going to talk about some initiatives that we're putting forward, because I believe that the Virginia Credit Union League is still in the best position in the Commonwealth of Virginia to lead collaboration. We are best positioned to do that. No other organization can get that done, because sometimes it's tough to trust that other person down the street. The league can fulfill that, so we have a role, and I think we want to try to accomplish some things in that area. So advocacy, education, compliance. You'll hear a lot about it today with the marketing, communications, collaboration, core functions. So with that, I'm going to have Nicole come up and shoot